so much. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. So exciting to be here again. I see so many familiar faces. I see new faces. It is just fabulous to be with you. So I'm Chief Branding Officer. What does that mean? I'm a storyteller. I've been a storyteller all of my life. And Bob hired me to tell stories, and I get to tell stories about you, the greatest people I've ever met, the hardest working people I've ever met, and I love telling your stories. Today, as Bob said, we have so much to unpack. We're going to talk about where we are in the supply chain and all that we're doing. You're going to hear some new initiatives. You're going to hear from producers. You're going to hear from backgrounders. You're going to hear from feed yard folks and how we're all coming together and how we're all doing this together. And it's just so powerful. And in my travels and telling stories from Nebraska to California to Florida to everywhere, something I hear sometimes is that all that you're doing, some of you have never had a chance to see your product in the Walmart beef case. Some of you have not had a chance to meet consumers. And so we thought, you know what? Let's remind ourselves why we're all here today, what we're doing, why we're working so hard to do what we do, and that is for the consumer, to deliver amazing Black Angus beef to the Walmart customer in the Southeast. I'm from Georgia originally. I have family and friends there. When I joined this company, they all went, we'll do it for JB. Now they're the biggest fans. The guy back there running the camera, he eats your beef, I don't know, once or twice a week. He's the voice of a lot of the videos you've heard. It is amazing, it is powerful. But I thought, wow, why don't we start with a consumer story? Why don't we start with a consumer story? And oh boy, do we have a consumer story for you. This story would not have come to life, it would not have happened if it were not for my colleague, Josh Broussard, the manager of supply chain for Prime Pursuits. Ladies and gentlemen, Josh Broussard.
Thank you, JB. As JB mentioned, my name is Josh Broussard. My primary role is to communicate and collaborate with all members in the Prime Pursuits supply chain. Over the years, I've had the opportunity to meet many of you and on a daily basis have the privilege to work with the team at Walmart. Over the last year, we've received numerous emails and feedbacks from the Walmart consumer raving about the quality and consistency of McLaren Farms beef. Several months ago, I had a unique opportunity to meet a Walmart consumer at an event in Dallas, Texas. His enthusiasm and passion, both for Walmart and McLaren Farms beef, was unmatched. As I was leaving the event, I picked up the phone and called JB and said, JB, you've got to meet this guy and we have to tell his story. Fast forward several weeks and we're on a plane to Atlanta to take a video of the consumer. If it's okay, I'd like to play a quick video and share with you the story of McLaren Farms' #1 customer, Jeremy Webb.
Hey y'all, welcome to Atlanta. I'm Jeremy, and this is my Texas friend Josh. And if it wasn't for those cool boots he has on, we wouldn't be sitting here grilling together right now. Tell them the story, Josh.
So just a few weeks ago, I was at a supply chain conference in Dallas when I was walking around and somebody suddenly yelled out,
Hey, nice boots. I mean, here in Atlanta, we don't wear cool cowboy boots like this, and especially not at a conference. So when I see this, I'm thinking, this is the Wild Wild West. I gotta meet this guy. So next thing you know, I'm talking to this Texas fella with cowboy boots, and we're talking about beef. So I decided to share with him how I recently discovered this beef brand at Walmart under the name McLaren Farms, and how grilling is now my favorite pastime. That's when Josh really started smiling.
So I looked at Jeremy and I said, guess what? I work for McLaren Farms. Next thing you know, we're best buds and we're on a FaceTime with his wife.
Yep, they FaceTimed me. Jeremy was like a little kid telling me about this guy he met that works for his favorite beef company, McLaren Farms.
So I said, man, you need to come to Atlanta. Let's go down to Walmart.
Let's go shopping.
Get some McLaren Farm beef. Go back to my house, fire up the grill.
Man, ranchers from all around the country, some even in your backyard here in Georgia, are providing this beef at this low price.
I love it. Let's go grill.
Let's do it.
And Josh, I'm so glad you wore those boots that day. Because if you didn't, maybe this would have never happened. Really appreciate you coming out here to sit down with me and my family. Let's enjoy these steaks.
Speaking of boots, I teamed up with Nicole, brought you a gift from Texas. Figured you couldn't fit in my boots, so I got your own pair.
Dude, is it too late to be a cowboy?
Man, never.
Everyday low prices never tasted so good.
Now available in over 500 stores in the Southeast at an everyday low price. Find your nearest Walmart with McLaren Farms beef today.
I mean, come on. From the minute Josh called me, JB, you gotta meet this guy, I literally was trying to catch a plane to Austin, and I pulled over and I said, I'll do a quick Zoom. I got on the Zoom with Jeremy. He blew me away. He gave me copywriting envy. I was trying to take notes on the back of coffee cups and on dollar bills and everything. This guy was amazing. Loved him. I got the chance to, a Georgia boy here, to go back to Georgia, to film a Georgia boy telling that story. It was just powerful. From the moment we met him, he was like, gosh, I want to be able to tell people thank you. Like, thank you for what? JB, Josh, what y'all have done is amazing. I just want to tell you thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You know what? Even better, I would love for Jeremy Webb to tell you thank you. Jeremy Webb, come tell the group thank you. And notice he is wearing the cowboy boots. Jeremy, welcome.
Jeremy, thanks, man.
McLaren Farms' biggest fan, Jeremy Webb, literally and figuratively. Whoop, here's your mic, buddy. Test.
First of all, I'm Jeremy Webb from Atlanta, Georgia. Like you mentioned, thank you for having me today. I'm so honored to be in the room with all the ranchers that make McLaren Farms steak possible. It has become an integral part of our family. It is how we spend our weeks. It is how we really enjoy that time at the family table. And I know I'm always delivering the best steak to my family. When we were shooting that video, it was amazing. I was able to learn so much more about the work behind the scenes, about the early mornings, about the long days, about the late nights. And it just really helped me to see all that dedication, all the time, all the effort, the blood, the love, the sweat that you put into this. We taste it. We taste it in every single bite. And my family is so grateful. It's not often you get an opportunity to thank the people that make your food face to face. As I saw some of you yesterday, I reflected upon that, and I was like, I probably had some of their steak. I probably had some of their steak. And I'm telling you, I probably have, because I buy a lot of this McLaren Farm steak, I'm telling you. And I wanted to really thank Prime Pursuits. I want to thank Walmart for being innovative, for really changing the industry and making an opportunity for regular folks like me to have premium beef at an everyday low price. Me and my wife, we were sitting during pandemic and we saw the commercial from McLaren Farms, and I remember telling her, there is no way I'm going down to Walmart, I'm getting some of this beef. And ever since then, we haven't looked back. One thing you have done for me is you ruined going to a steakhouse because there's no reason to do it anymore.
Yeah.
I get better beef at my house with my family, with my loved ones. And that's something that's really important to me. So I've shared the brand with all my family, all my friends, a lot of strangers that I meet in Walmart too when I'm picking it up. And the good news is I feel like the message, it resonates with everyone. So I just wanted to come here and I want to make sure that I told you, thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Oh, thank you, Jim. Is the man amazing? Yeah, he's amazing. And when we went shopping with him to do that commercial, people were watching him pick out stuff, and like he was over there just telling stories. You got to try this. You got to try this. And Josh and I were like, whoa, man, this guy knows what he's doing. He's amazing. So, like I said, Jeremy wanted to thank you all, and here he is thanking you. But again, as I said earlier, I'm a storyteller, and I get to travel around telling your stories. And I've met so many of you that like, JB, I know you're from Georgia. You get to see the product. I hear your friends and family are eating it. Gosh, I'd love to see that. So Jeremy, there's someone here that I think could speak for a lot of us that would like to thank you. There's a producer that lives in Nebraska who has never seen a product, in the meat case, never met a customer. Lydia Vinton O'Brien, do you mind coming out and telling Jeremy thank you? Lydia Vinton O'Brien, everyone.
So like JB said, I really haven't ever got to meet a consumer. So Jeremy, I know you were thanking all of us, but I would like to thank you because really you're the reason that we do all of this for, and kind of that external validation. Love hearing that our product is good. So thank you again from all of us producers. Thanks for buying our beef.
Absolutely.
You sit here with me.
So I was actually in Atlanta a couple days before Jeremy and those guys shot their video. And when we were talking, we thought it would be really cool for me to be able to stay, and it didn't work out. So I'm really psyched that we were able to meet finally at this conference. And definitely one of the really cool things I think to think about is that my ranch is I think around 1,200, maybe 1,300 miles away from Atlanta. But the beef that we put on our table every single day that we feed to our family is the same beef that Jeremy is feeding to his family. And I'm sure most of you, or a lot of you, are even further away from the Atlanta or the southeast part of the United States. But really, it's the same quality that everybody gets in this program, regardless if you're buying beef with the McLaren Farms label in Walmart, or if you're putting it on the table for your families from your own freezer. And that's just a really cool thing that 44 Farms gets to bring to this table.
It's unbelievable. Thank you. So again, Jeremy wanted to thank you all, and Lydia wanted to thank Jeremy. And Josh and I thought, let's sit down and talk about it, because they met at a supply chain conference, and Jeremy likes to know. He's asked me, JB, how do they do the consistency? Why is it so good every time? How do you do this price? Why is it so wonderful? And of course, today's summit is about unpacking why this supply chain is so powerful, about the dedication of each of you, the producers, the backgrounders, the feed yards, and all that you do, this powerful, synergistic supply chain. So I thought we'd unwrap that a little bit. Dear sir, why don't you sit there, Jeremy? Over to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Jeremy, again, thank you for being here. This is awesome, really seeing this all come together. You know, conversation started over boots, which led to cattle, which led to beef, and here we are today. You know, as you've learned more about Prime Pursuits and the ranchers that raise the beef that goes into the McLaren Farms label, how has that helped provide a sense of confidence and assurance with the product that you're putting on your table and serving your friends and family?
Absolutely, Josh. And let me tell you, these boots fit really nice too. I'm breaking them in well. I really enjoy learning more about the industry. One of the things growing up for me, I've always just been at all cowboys. I think it's one of the coolest jobs ever. So just to learn more about the background and the work that goes into it, and even the technology aspect of it, which, you being a supply chain, you're integral with making sure that happens. That's important to me, and it helped me understand why it tastes so good every single time. I mean, we have never missed on a steak. So that marbling, that fat, the way it just sizzles on the grill is consistent every single time, and I know I can count on that when I'm sharing that food with my family and friends.
That's awesome. And Jeremy's telling the truth when he says that he really has thought about being a rancher. JB, I think JB was trying to get his wife to move out of Atlanta and go find a piece of property by the time we
Still working on it.
Right. So he may be showing up at some of your ranches. Lydia, when we were out there filming you were like, JB, what is it like? Are they really saying everything that we think they're saying? I mean, what's this feel like for you?
Yeah, I mean, it is very cool to be able to meet a consumer. I really haven't ever got to know where our beef was going before we started selling to 44 Farms. So knowing that it's in Walmart and getting to meet someone who's actually buying it and eating it and feeding it to his family, very, very special, very cool feeling.
In just a little while, Josh, some of the other teammates are going to come up and talk about some of the systems in place regarding transparency and predictability and all that we do to make this happen behind the scenes to make it work. But Josh, anything you would add to that as to the team?
Yeah, no, I mean, a lot about what we talk about at Prime Pursuits is, again, the use of traceability technologies and being transparent, making sure that we're able to provide real-time data to the producer. And we really focus on the live cattle portion of that. But as a producer, Liddy, I mean, this really kind of closes that loop, getting the feedback from a consumer. What does that mean to you, and how do you see that relationship and that continuation of feedback from the consumers, helping bring this program into the future?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think the feedback from consumers is really the key piece to this, because if they're not buying the beef, then that's going to mess up the entire supply chain. So knowing that it's something they like, knowing what they like, what they want to buy, that really is kind of that closed piece to the supply chain, like you said, and being able to get all that data back with the pie that you're working on has been really invaluable from a producer's standpoint, because then we can work on things, on our genetics, on how they grade, how they yield, all of that stuff. We can work on that so that the consumers stay happy. It's that whole full circle moment.
You're a consumer, you love to cook, but you're kind of a nerd as well. You like hearing all of that and how it comes to life?
I love hearing it.
Yeah.
Just understanding the data, the analytics, and just the intention that goes into creating this consistent product. That's really important to me. And I feel like in the supply chain, this is next level technology, and I think it's going to really impact the industry and really be the pioneer and set the stage for what other companies will have to do at some point too. The innovation, being willing to go first with this, it's just really impressive. And that's why I'm so happy to be here and be able to thank everybody again.
So I was telling Jeremy that all the stories that I've done with all of you, and hope to do many, many more, that certainly in the film crew that I bring in and all of the creatives, I just said these are going to be unlike any people you've ever met in your life. No matter what's going on, how hot it is, how cold it is, if it's raining, if you've not eaten, if you've not slept, do not complain, because they do not complain. They do not call in sick, and they just get things done, Lydia being one of those. And we've been telling him that. Again, Jeremy has reinforced, JB, I get it. The work they put in, the love they put in is powerful. And we went over to Atlanta to film. It happens that his house is very close to an old recording studio that I used to play in Atlanta. So it was almost like I was back in my old neighborhood. But what I loved, Walmart folks and everybody, as Jeremy calls it, my Walmart. We're going to my Walmart. That was his home, and we walked in, he just took over, right? You walk in.
Absolutely.
It's your place, right? And you love it.
They know me in there.
They know him in there.
And they know where I'm headed.
They know him in there.
So when they see me coming in, they make sure to keep it stocked up.
They do,
And,
yeah.
And I'm able to share with other people right there on the spot.
Yeah, we walked in, and the crew, Jeremy's here, they took off to the back to make sure the stack, because he's coming, buddy, he's coming. He's bringing it. Josh Broussard, Liddy, Jeremy, what about this group? Thank you.